I did not react well to the wild card announcement. For those who are wondering, we're going to review this show in totality, but I wanted to get this right out of the way. I got a text message from somebody within WWE that I think very highly of, who doesn't usually talk to me while shows are going on. So this surprised me. And they said to me, quote, "Dude, you just hate everything WWE these days," end quote. Now, I have been known from time to time to have thin skin. I live in a town of 250, Alex. If somebody doesn't like you here, something has gone wrong, terribly wrong.
It's true.
That has been rectified in recent years. But what I do get thin-skinned about is someone, especially in the company, implying that we have some sort of bias, implying that we are not fair. I love what I do. I could do all kinds of different stuff if I wanted to. I want to cover pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling. I love combat sports. I love Fightful. It's what I care about. And I also care about the integrity and the intelligence of our viewers and our readers, and I respect them too much to provide a bias. And if I ever felt like I was biased, I would take myself off the show.
Right.
I poke fun at Alex a little bit sometimes when he has his favorites, but if I thought it compromised the integrity of the show, I would replace Alex, and Alex would probably go, "You know what? I understand. I'm not having a good time doing this anymore."
Yeah.
You got better shit to do with your time if you're being miserable during a show. And I said, "No, you know what I don't like? I don't like a bunch of call-ups in December with no plan. It was just a quick Band-Aid a fixer for when Vince McMahon came out and said, "Oh, we're gonna listen to the fans." And then they brought up a few people who probably weren't ready to be brought up.
Sure.
But hey, you know what? A couple of those I ended up liking. Lacey Evans, I'm liking her. Lars Sullivan, I'm liking him. EC3, what the hell's going on with him? Heavy Machinery, why'd you bring them up? They don't know. What brand are they on? Some of them we still don't know. What brand is Nikki Cross on? I don't know, Alex. I don't know. So what happens? Nothing happens. Things don't get better. The creative direction doesn't get better. Of course, there are a few bright spots. The Kofi Kingston storyline ruled. Loved it.
But they completely lucked into that shit.
Sure. And hey, that's okay. I'll take lucky. I'll take good if lucky. Then they brought up more people. They brought up Gargano and Ciampa. And, you couldn't have predicted what was going to happen with Ciampa. Ricochet and Aleister Black. And it's like, hey, what brand are they on? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Superstar Shakeup. We'll announce it like a month and a half, 2 months ahead of time. So you guys know that we'll get serious eventually. And I'm like, all right, you know what? That sucks. It's stupid, but whatever. I bitched about it leading up to WrestleMania. Something like 30 people switched brands. And then we hear through the grapevine, well, they'll get more serious around WrestleMania or around October. That's when Fox wants the separate brand splits. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. WrestleMania comes and goes. The Superstar Shakeup comes and goes. And I'm thinking, all right, Alex, here we go. They're going to get serious. They're going to get serious about this. And why is the brand split important, Alex? Why is it important?
You tell me.
Because they have so much talent.
Yeah.
They have such a just stocked roster that you can't fit the amount of good people they have on a single show. 5 hours worth with combined brands. And you've got such a good roster, you don't know what to do with all these people. Even though traditionally you have had a massive struggle finding anything to do with some of these people that you fell all over yourselves to sign. Some of which you signed purely out of spite so somebody else wouldn't have them and use them creatively.
Yep.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Some of these guys.
You could take a full quarter of the main roster, drop them back down to NXT, and run a 2-hour NXT show every week.
Luke Harper wants on TV, Alex. He's begging to get on TV. I had a person that told me today, whatever happened with Vince and Luke Harper, Vince decided that he wasn't going to like whatever he did. And that's somebody real close to the situation. So you got these people that are begging to be on TV, and they said, you know what? If I can't get on TV, can we just get out of our deals? Vince is like, nah, not doing it. Not doing it. And I'm okay with some of the stuff that's happening here. But my God, they get on there tonight and they say, well, here's what we're going to do. Wild card. And it was delivered in such a way that I thought it was Vince being a parody of himself. I thought it was Vince playing a senile character where he made these rash decisions on the fly because he was out of touch. Now, I do hear a fair share of people say, end the brand split, end the brand split. Well, then you got about 15, 20 more people who are unhappy. You've got 15, 20 more creatively unsatisfied people. You've got a whole host of people that don't have any goddamn clue what their future is going to be in a company that they've dreamed of getting to and worked their ass off getting there. Some of them have moved across the country to make travel arrangements easier. You get all this shit going on, but one guy changes things last minute. Happens all the time. And then I got somebody who I like and respect saying, man, you just hate on everything WWE. And initially my reaction to that would have been, piss off, mate. But I said, no, there's a lot of things I like about WWE. There's a whole lot of things I like about WWE. I love the Lars Sullivan build. Wish he could get some matches. Firefly Funhouse seems different and fun. The Kofi build was great. The Lacey Evans stuff was great. And they say back to me is, all I know is I went out in the crowd and they were going nuts. And I said, that's nice. They have the ability to do that. They reserve their right for that. But you know what? You know what makes me go nuts? Shit that makes sense, even a semblance of it.
I do not trust any live Raw audience.
They cheered Baron Corbin out, or not cheered. They gave Baron Corbin a reaction out the ass last week. Right, I was there. It was loud.
Right. I do not trust any live Raw audience to think critically when the first strains of No Chance in Hell start playing over the loudspeakers. Like, oh my God, it's Vince. I get to see Vince. When I swear to you, a whole bunch of those people, the day prior, would be tweeting out stuff about how Vince sucks and he's so out of touch, everything. But oh my God, he's here in front of me. I better cheer for Vince. Now, I mean,
what upsets me is that this person knows better. This person knows better, and they know it's horse shit. They know that the superstar spot or superstar shakeup was botched monumentally. Huge botch.
Yeah.
Why? Because Raw doesn't have any workhorse women that have been protected. SmackDown has no tag teams.
None.
SmackDown has no tag teams to the point to where the Hardy Boys vacated the title. They throw up a graphic of what's going to happen with the tag team division. One of those tag teams is Shane McMahon and Elias, and the other one is Finn Balor and Ali. What did I miss, Alex? Ali's your boy. When have he and Finn Balor become a team?
They teamed last week in the obligatory two good guys who were in the Money in the Bank ladder match versus two bad guys who were in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now I guess they're a tag team. You know who else is on SmackDown that we haven't seen in 3 weeks? Heavy Machinery.
Now, you know what? The Revival could scoot on over to SmackDown in this wild card and win some tag titles and help the division. And there will be people saying, you know what, Sean? Not so bad now, is it? Well, you know what? They could have just moved in the shakeup.
Yeah.
Tonight.
The idea that you could say in hindsight, like that eventually through all kinds of terrible mistakes and whoopsie daisies, and we got to fix this, screw up. Oh, finally the Revival get to be on SmackDown and are used properly over there. Like, so you happy now? Well, yes, but it should not have taken you all of these terrible screw ups to get to this point. Like that's not how things should. The whole Superstar shakeup was terrible to begin with. And then the idea, like, over the weekend, Roman's like, I still got unfinished business on Raw. I'll be there. And then their official WWE Twitter account has the nerve to go, although Roman says he'll be here, he's contracted to SmackDown Live and will not be allowed to perform on Raw. I'm like, who are you fooling? Like, this was such an obvious ploy of like, God, ratings still suck. In case of emergency, break glass. Under the glass is Roman Reigns.
So I get it. I get why they're doing it. They want to stack this show and they want to stack all these shows. I get it, but if you build stars,
yeah, man,
effectively, you don't have to worry about this. The main event of Monday Night Raw tonight was a match that could have main evented SmackDown Live tomorrow night.
It featured 2 SmackDown people. Like at least the other one where Roman came over, he fought Drew, who's on Raw. Why would I just
some people will excuse anything. There is no reason to need a wild card.
No.
Can some interesting stuff happen from it? Yeah, sure. But you could have you could have set the table.
You could, yeah. There's I don't know, man. This whole thing where the idea that Roman shows up, he's been announced that he's gonna be there, but they don't want him there. Vince McMahon is very upset that he showed up.
So in the middle of me breaking all that Leo Rush news last week, and I talked to him, he said, nobody ever breaks good news, happy news. I'm like, well, 1, WWE doesn't give us access to do that. 2, I'm begging WWE writers, agents, producers, wrestlers, hit my inbox with some happy, positive news.
Please.
Come to me and tell me the writers that are doing great things. Tell me the producers that are doing great things. Tell me your contemporaries that are working their asses off, that are going to creative, that are going to Vince and saying, hey, this doesn't make sense, or this does make sense, or tell me the great ideas that Vince McMahon in particular has.
Yep.
Tell me the great ideas that Stephanie or Triple H or Shane or anybody, Michael Hayes, that are contributing. Give me those stories. You don't have to hit my inbox and air your grievances. You can hit my inbox and tell me positive things, and I'm going to report that shit too. So to say to me, oh, you hate everything WWE, well, that's complete horseshit. I watched a Drew McIntyre Roman Reigns match tonight, and I thought it was Drew McIntyre's best singles match of his WWE career. Yep. I liked it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things on this show I enjoyed. This wild card horse shit was not some of it.
The problem I have is it was obviously so forced, but that they sold it as though it was an idea Vince had in the middle of the endless promo segment. We talked about this. We went back and forth on Twitter. You say the first half hour of the show featured 0 wrestling, and it's like that old. It's like from Jurassic Park, where Jeff Goldblum is like, eventually there will be dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, but with wrestling. So yeah, you keep on talking over and over and over again. You have all these people who are from SmackDown show up, and Vince is like, hey, I got an idea. Since the 3 of you are here now, how about we have this wild card rule? What? No, that's stupid.
Wrestling fans are not unreasonable for wanting a show that makes sense.
Yes.
And I do not give a shit about the people that come in and say, oh, everybody wants them to do different things. This isn't different. This is the same thing they have been doing since December. Oh, by the way, when you look at this, and some people say, well, it's for 6-year-olds. I'm like, no, not. There's plenty of this shit that is not for 6-year-olds.
There's a happy medium. You can program so that 6-year-olds can get and understand and be entertained by much of your show, but program, let's say, to 14-year-olds who have the capacity to understand rational thought. You know what I mean?
And we got people that say, oh, positive stories don't get clicks. Horse shit. I used to run producer lists, and people would, the story would be, who produced that good match? Who produced that great match?
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. Listen, a lot of people say, why don't they have floating champions? No, why don't you build up your 2 brands effectively? That way, Raw and SmackDown are both valuable entities, like what they got paid for. And then you can have special shows like Survivor Series where you have super fights as a result.
Yeah. How about this? How about when somebody's gotten over organically and is rocketing to a point where you did not expect them to, you don't like cool them off by having them lose a few matches in a row, or keep them off TV for a couple of weeks, or have their build end abruptly and shuff them over to some other storyline that doesn't make sense. How about you actually figure out how to harness that organic grassroots appeal that some of your guys are getting from their audience? How about you do that every now and then? Nah, we can't do that.